Prove them wrong. You're so me. There won't be anyone ahead of me. You're so me. I'll be the best no one can.
Hey guys, how's it going? Teddy Mac here with Stackz. Coming at you with a random deck profile. Something that I played quite a few tournaments ago. And we've gotten some requests for this deck profile again, randomly. But here it is. It's actually Battling Boxers. So this is one of my favorite decks. Played it for so long. Also, technically, this is myself and Mascot's deck. Most of the cards are his. Some of them are mine. But we've been working. Well, I've been working on this. So this is more of a budget version, I guess. A more friendlier version of the deck. That's more streamlined to what boxers want to do, which is summon their big boxer guys and swing in. Because, yeah, that's what they do. It's a battle. They want to hit. I punch you. You know, like Jackson Mortal Kombat. All he does is I punch you. Punch you. Anyway, yeah, so let's go through the deck profile real quick, along with the extra deck. So, like I said, this is more of a budget-friendlier version of the deck. It's not so expensive or with too many techs. Well, too many expensive techs. But I do play 3 switch hitters. For anyone that doesn't know what the card does, it's most of them are level 4s. Mostly the cards that I run are level 4s. So switch hitter is when he's normal summoned, I can target a battling boxer in the graveyard, special summon it, and then for the rest of the turn, I'm locked into only summoning battling boxer monsters, which is fine because we have 2 XCs and they're both really good. So we have 3 switch hitter because he reborns from the grave. I personally like to run 3 Glassjaw. Mascot was only running 2. ¿Por qué? I don't know, but I got him a 3rd one. 3 Glassjaw. He's kind of really important to the deck because when he's targeted for an attack, he destroys himself. He's a 2000 attack, 0 defense. But the important part is whenever this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, I can target a battling boxer monster in the graveyard except himself and add it to my hand. So basically the little loop is I want to have him engrave, him to summon, overlay, and the 2 battling boxer monsters have effects that basically detach the cards. So then what would happen is you detach Glassjaw goes to grave. You could get something from grave back up to your hand. If you have 2 switch hitters, it's basically just you're cycling through them pretty fast. Then I also run 3 of the headgear. He's basically a living Foolish Burial. When he's normal summoned, you can send a battling boxer monster from the deck to the graveyard. So you Foolish Burial battling boxer, and then also he can't be destroyed by battle once per turn. So you have to kill him twice, basically. And then also, I personally really like to run 3 of the spars. Reason being for the spar is if I control a battling boxer monster, I can special summon him, and even though I can't attack that turn, for the rest of that turn, what I like to do is use them during main phase 2, or even if it's just turn 1. You know, you could summon, spam the board with these guys, and then you can make 2 XCs with this guy. And these 3, or just later on in the turn, special summon them, and after you attack, you special summon them, and you could still keep XYZing. So extender, basically. I also run 2 Shadow. So Shadow's a little oddball because he detaches a material from a battling boxer XYZ on the field to special summon himself. So he just helps extend, and then one of the XYZs in the well, both of them really do not mind having their materials detached. This is kind of like one of their two hand traps. Veil is a battle negator. So if you were to take battle damage, you could special summon them from the hand, and you just gain your life points back. So you have to take damage. As long as it's not lethal damage, you could just special summon them, you gain your life points back, and it's basically like if that attack was negated. And for the final hand trap-ish battling boxer card is Counter Punch. So Counter Punch is basically like I forgot the name of the card, like Neos, Honest Neos, or Honest of the deck for battling boxers. So during the damage step, if he's in the graveyard or in your hand, so you could mill him out, it doesn't matter. Or if he's in your hand, you could banish him, and a battling boxer monster that's conducting the attack gains 1,000. So yeah, so if one of your battling boxers is being attacked or attacking, you could just banish this from graveyard or from your hand, and it'll gain 1,000. So it's just a 1,000 attack boost. Something else we're trying out is Colonel on C string. So he's like a big extender, and he's a level 4 and a warrior, so it helps. So if it's normal summoned, I can special summon 2 level 4 monsters with different names from the hand in defense position. So it just helps extend swarm the board, especially with battling boxer cards. And then for the final creature, we are running the 1 blue flame swordsman. This thing is always a 1 of, especially because it's a fire level 4 warrior. And then, you know, you can, during the battle phase, you can target a warrior monster you control. So he will lose a 600, 800? Tell me. Oh, there it is. 600 attack. So he'll lose 600 and the other creature will gain 600. And then the other part of his effect is... So if he's destroyed by opponent's battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard, target 1 fire warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. So you could summon one of the XYZs, because there are 4 fire warrior. And one of them in particular is actually really useful, even if he has no materials, because he attaches materials. We'll get to that later. Warrior deck, you're obviously going to run the reinforcement. Foolish Burial, because you really want to get your stuff into the graveyard, whether it be more battling boxers for Glassjaw or Glassjaw himself. Actually, a little nifty combo is if you have battling boxer headgear along with Foolish Burial, what you want to do is you go headgear first, you send switch hitter, wrong one. You would send the switch hitter to the graveyard, and then you Foolish Burial, you send your Glassjaw to the graveyard, which will then get you back switch hitter to hand. So the next turn you are able to combo off and go off. Just little things like that, interactions, especially simple combos like that to help out with a budget deck. Monster Reborn, because it's reborn. Why not? You need it. You want to reborn your stuff so you can keep swarming. I run 1 Pot of Desires. To be honest, it's a little filler right now, especially because it's rare, and why aren't you focusing? Shazam. Too much shine. I'm sorry. Pot of Desires. So you banish 10 from the top of your deck, and then you draw 2 cards, and you can only activate once per turn. So it's good because you do run a lot of 3-ofs and 2-ofs, so hopefully you don't banish out everything you need to. And you run the 1 Pot of Avarice because you do want to recycle, whether it be your main boxers or your extra deck boxers, and just draw 2 cards. And then we have the Monster Reborn for themselves, which is Battling Boxer Spirits. You don't want to run this at 3 because it's a little clunky, but 2 is perfectly fine. So you would send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Again, more self-milling, which is fine. And target a battling boxer in the graveyard, special summon it in face-up defense position. And you can only activate one of these per turn. So you could summon another battling boxer to keep going overlaying, or you could special summon the rank 4. Then also, because they really don't care about being destroyed, or they have their own protection, we do run 3 Dark Holes. 3 Raigekis are good, but I like Dark Bolt because it also helps you with your extra deck creature. With your extra deck boss monster, I should say. I do run 3 MST because this is what Mascot had in there. And I'm just working off of what he has and what I have in bulk, I guess. In bulk? Yeah, bulk. For the traps, we are running 2 Mirror Force because destruction and some type of protection. We are running 2 Torrentials. I kind of want to bump it up to 3, but I'm not too sure. You'll see why in the extra deck. And we are running 1 Jolt counter. This is their Battling Boxer's own counter trap. Well, I mean, yeah, counter. So during the battle phase, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, if I control a Battling Boxer, I can negate the activation and destroy the card. So during battle, if something's going on during battle where they want to honest or activate anything like some kind of Mirror Force, you could just counter it. All you have to have is a Battling Boxer on the field. Onto the extra deck. I'm the weird one that promotes this card the most, to be honest. Any Boxer deck, you have to run 3. I understand people just mostly run 2 or 1, which is understandable, but I really think this card is like a powerhouse to the deck. Especially if you're playing something like this, which is a bit more budget. But I really think you need to run 3 at the most, at the least 2, but I would always promote 3. I know I may be wrong, and you could mention it in the comments, but personally, from experience, since playing this through, what was this set with the dragons? Lord Attack Young Galaxy. Yeah, since that pre-release, and since me playing this deck, 3 is a necessity for this deck. Why am I so hype on this card is because it only takes 2 Battling Boxer monsters, and then if a Battling Boxer monster, not itself, any other monster on the field, would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can detach a material from this card instead of destroying one of those monsters. And when a material is detached from this card, he gains 800 attack. So it starts off as an honest 22, and then after the first detachment, you get he becomes a 3K. And after the second detachment, he's a 38. He's a single 38 on the body on the board, but even then, you have to kill him twice, basically. So that's why I run Torrential Dark Hole, because I could protect himself, boost him up, and then just swing hard, you know? This is one of the reasons why you run Shadow, because it doesn't matter if you detach with Shadow to keep extending, you're just going to bump him up. Sorry. Then when the other XYZ this deck has, that is viable, is number 79, Battling Boxer Nova Kaiser. So, I think we got this card too late when Boxers were kind of good was against Evil Swarm. I personally never lost a game against them, actually just once. But besides that, we got this too late. But, sorry, rambling. Focus. Thank you. 2 level 4 monsters. So this is a generic. You don't need 2 Battling Boxers. But once per turn, I can attach a Battling Boxer monster from my hand or graveyard to this card as a material, and it'll gain 100 attack for each XYZ material attached to it. So it starts off at 23, 24, 5 if you have 2 2 Battling Boxers attached to it. So it starts off at 23 or 25, depending on how many boxers it has attached. And then when this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, battle, or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, I can target level 4 lower Battling Boxer monsters in the graveyard up to the number of materials it had on the field and special summon those targets. So this is a huge board swarm. If you manage to have 3 or 4 materials attached to it, which I have gotten it to get to that point, especially being protected by the likes of the lead yoke, this guy can swarm your board. So if your opponent decides to Raigeki you and you're like, you know what, I'm going to only protect him, cool, now you're going to swarm the board with this guy. and then I mean, he just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the reason why you want to mill and send stuff to the graveyard very frequently is to boom, bump him up. So then also with Shadow, you want to detach from him mostly and just reattach it back to him without any issues. So that's the Battling Boxer package. For the Warrior package, we do run the Excalibur, just a giant beat stick. Two Warrior type monsters, and then detach 2 materials from it. Attack doubles, so it'll go from 2000 to 4k. So just 4k beater. We are running the Time Thief Redoer because sometimes we do have to play outside of the Boxer's comfort zone, so we have to be work with other stuff. So we do run generics. Time Thief Redoer, which is a really good one. Silent Honor Arc, just to steal stuff. Might want to change that. Giant Hand, also a generic, really good. We do run the Babushka. He is a great stall for like 2, maybe 3 turns. That really helps you out. Load up your hand at your board with Boxers. Tornado Dragon because destruction is good. Abyss Dweller because we do want to stop anything from graveyard that could hurt us or, you know, promote opponents keep going. And then to finish it off, we just run 3 generic links. Little Chimera for fires, Pit Knight, and Proxy Dragon. But that's it. That's it for the deck profile. Go ahead, leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys think. And yeah, Teddy Mag out.